Welcome to the 40th Annual Catholic Charities Leadership Breakfast. My name is Scott Wilfong, and I have the privilege of serving as this year's chair. 40 years ago, the first leadership breakfast was held. It was a simple breakfast, prepared and served by the staff at Catholic Charities, lasting only 1 hour and raising $50,000. Today, the leadership breakfast has grown into the largest source of unrestricted support for Catholic Charities' mission and work. Since our first breakfast, this effort has raised over $60 million in cumulative support to assist our fellow Marylanders in need. While we normally share a meal in this space to celebrate those who make a personal commitment to serve, we look a little bit different this year. This is an extraordinary time. And while you do not see the activity around us, there are warm meals being served on site as we speak. The work at Catholic Charities, including our Daily Bread Employment Center, has not stopped during COVID. It has only increased. Bill McCarthy will be sharing updates with us shortly on all Catholic Charities has been able to accomplish through your generosity over the last 12 months. I'd like to tell you why I'm grateful to be part of this critical effort. I became involved with Catholic Charities in the late 90s after visiting our Daily Bread while in the GBC Leadership Program. I thought I was going to see how they fed 500 to 1,000 people a day and the management and organizational issues to accomplish this massive undertaking. I was looking for business insight I could gain to implement at the bank I was running. Instead, what I saw was an army of volunteers giving dignity back to individuals who were accustomed to being unseen. Each volunteer took the time through delivering a basic human need, food, to give them those precious minutes where they were special. Everyone in the room understood that their interaction could make the difference in how our clients felt about being a child of God, and they treated him as such. They were living the message of the Gospel of Matthew when the Lord said, "To the extent you did it to one of my brothers, even the least, you did it to me." I've been engaged since and constantly witnessed the prevailing attitude across all Catholic Charities to help people become whole again. Whether it's serving the homeless, feeding the poor, providing addiction counseling, or assisting the elderly, the formula for success never changes. Providing much-needed love and dignity to everyone who asks for our assistance is at the very core of Catholic Charities. When we make the effort to see the dignity inherent in each person, it's transformational, not only for our clients, but also for our staff and volunteers. Everyone who enters a Catholic Charities program offers us the gift to put our Christianity to practice. For this, we are thankful. May God bless them and continue to bless you all for your support of this breakfast, which provides much-needed operational support to those in need. This year's goal was to raise $5 million. I'm pleased to announce that we've raised $4.3 million as our campaign closes on December 31st. But we still have time to reach our goal because I've been blessed by an incredible committee who I'd like to recognize at this time. These individuals worked tirelessly to obtain our goal, and on behalf of all those you've helped by this effort, thank you. Paul Bowie, Fran Contino, Clinton Daly, Sam DiPaolo, Buddy Emerson, Mary Ann Scully, Bill Stromberg, and Mike Sullivan. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce Bill McCarthy, the Executive Director at Catholic Charities.
Thank you, Scott. And thanks to each of you for joining us today for our 40th Leadership Breakfast as we share our movement to serve with you. My name is Bill McCarthy, and I'm the Executive Director of Catholic Charities. Catholic Charities' mission is clear. Inspired by the gospel mandates to love, serve, and teach, we provide care and services to Marylanders in need. Where I'm sitting right now at our Daily Bread Employment Center, we have never missed a meal since June 1st, 1981. That's 14,417 consecutive days and 7.5 million meals. As you might know, Catholic Charities serves Marylanders throughout the state in more than 200 locations across 9 counties as well as Baltimore City. And that means there are many more people in need of a meal than those who come to our Daily Bread each day. In fact, across the region, we served nearly 651,000 meals last year, in our expanded meals programs, which included Safe Streets, Head Start, and other initiatives. About 200,000 of those meals were served here at our Daily Bread Employment Center. In many cases, the meals are not just for sustenance, but it's also a starting point for other services, an invitation to journey toward independence and self-sufficiency. But since March, for the most part, meals haven't been served sit-down, restaurant-style in our dining rooms the way we usually do it. To keep our community safer, we asked our volunteers to stay home and converted our meal services to grab and go. Because it's important to dignity and health, we kept serving hot meals, generously made in people's home kitchens and by restaurant chefs who wanted to help. On the occasions where we needed to serve sandwiches, we received tens of thousands from kind and thoughtful people, even young children. We are joined in our movement to serve by thousands of people who want to help, and that has a lot of meaning for our community. Part of the joy of our work is seeing how many people prove every day that they really do want to be part of something greater. Nearly 2,000 of these people are my colleagues across the state. They have shown extraordinary dedication, sacrifice, and service. They stepped up to fill in where our 7,000 volunteers would normally be. They found ways to balance childcare, virtual school, parents, partners, spouses, PPE, shift changes, reassignments, and work from home connections. They took care of themselves and one another while also caring for our neighbors. Many of them support this Leadership Breakfast campaign as well. And together, they once again made Catholic Charities one of Baltimore's top workplaces. Obviously, this has been an extraordinarily challenging year, not only for organizations like Catholic Charities, but especially our neighbors we serve, and for the communities we live in. There's been so much pain, so much loss, so much trauma, so much fear, and so much anger. It's really been a year that demanded a commitment and a renewed commitment to compassion and humility. In spite of all this, we were able to meet the changing needs of our community. We were able to open, in partnership with Ascension St. Agnes, a health clinic in Irvington. The Esperanza Center was able to serve our new neighbors despite a devastating fire. And with a grant in partnership with Baltimore City, we were able to work toward rapidly rehousing individuals experiencing homelessness. The work we do together for our neighbors doesn't change when conditions do. It only makes service more important. Service is like what you see on your screen right now. And it's critical to remember, these numbers are not merely statistics. Every number represents a person. At Catholic Charities, we've been particularly called to respond meaningfully to the centuries-old, frustratingly persistent, and deeply painful scourge of racial injustice. We still lived our values to work for justice, yet the renewed confrontation of racial injustice meant recommitting ourselves to the recognition of dignity and the attitude of compassion and humility that defines our purpose as an organization. We had to look at ourselves and within our organization and ask ourselves again whether we really are encountering every individual with the dignity inherent to them without setting our own conditions. I'm not going to say it changed what we do or even why we do it. It may not even changed how we do it either. but in some ways, it changed how we think about it. We talk about it, when we talk about it, not just for our clients, but for our colleagues and communities. And that matters. Because communities and individuals welcomed us and shared with us, we are halfway through our redevelopment of the Cherry Hill Town Center into something the community is creating for itself. For the first time in its 75-year history, Cherry Hill has a bank. Let's be clear about this. A reason it didn't have a bank before is rooted in racial injustice. Without access to financial services, that injustice was sustained and perpetuated. We can't entirely predict what the future holds for Cherry Hill, but we know that the people of Cherry Hill are in more control of their own future now than they have ever been. And I'm deeply humbled and honored that Catholic Charities has served in that empowerment.
Having been raised here as a young child, I loved this place, and I was heartbroken when my family up and moved. I loved to run up and down the hills of Cherry Hill. I loved the Cherry Hill Elementary School that I went to, 159. Cherry Hill has been in existence now for more than 75 years. And I think our population had grown at one time almost up to 20,000 people. We're now down to about 8,000 for a number of reasons. But during that time period, there's never been a bike in this community. Never. Economic development is something we need within this community. It's so. At no time has fences been built around the shopping center. It's so. So when having an opportunity as growing older and you start to recognize some of the negative aspects of the community that you grew up in, that the skills that you've been blessed with can help them. And so it was my feeling and my belief that I was meant to be back here. Cherry Hill don't want folk to come in here and do things for them. You come in and do things with us. And with us means that is a collaboration or a collaborative effect. We talk together. Your resources and your knowledge in relationship to our wants and our desires, bringing them together comes off with then what this community wants. God blessed me with an education in law. How do I use my skills as a lawyer or my knowledge as a lawyer to assist what people want? I've been blessed with all the bad things I've done in my life that God has given me the opportunity to redeem myself. And this redemption is through serving a community that I love very, very much. I love the work that I am doing. I feel blessed right now. Cherry Hill has done more for me than I could ever do for it. I just hope that I assist in setting the infrastructure of what is to come. Because my belief is that within the next 15 to 20 years, this community will be a diamond for the city of Baltimore altogether.
As for COVID, I would never say the pandemic has been a good thing, but the innovations it has forced have been transformational. Even while COVID-19 was putting up barriers everywhere, it allowed us to remove some. Individuals who needed care didn't have to ride 3 buses or walk 2 miles or take a half day off of work. They could call us, use their computer, or connect with us in different ways. Families could more often be together in appointments because they could attend from other locations. That's in large part because of the investments we have in our IT operations, and in large part because Zoom was invented just in time. It meant we could provide dignified and compassionate services to thousands, including almost 2,900 people who needed substance use disorder treatment. Of those, 82% reported they decreased or stopped their use since receiving treatment. When an individual begins recovery from addiction, finds housing, and finds meaningful work, the world changes. You're about to meet a colleague of mine who knows that better than most people. Let's take a look.
I am Timothy McPherson, the program assistant at Our Daily Bread.
Thank you all so much. Take care, Mama. Y'all have a blessed day here.
I remember in elementary school, one of my teachers, I think I was in the 4th grade, one of my teachers sent home a letter with my report card, and I really couldn't read too well, but I know I saw artist in the report, right? And so later on, when I grew up, I read it, and it read, Timothy is a sneaky little con artist. And I said the con artist part, I had tendencies, I had addict behaviors way before I actually, became an alcoholic. I had those tendencies already, conning, manipulating. I had that already in me. In 1984-ish, about that time, and I was married and had 2 children, and I just left. I went to Florida, and I stayed there. I didn't participate in anything in my past except for what I wanted to participate in. I came back here to Baltimore and did the same thing. Everywhere I've ever gone, I've gone to jail, everywhere. And so I came back here and went to prison when I came back here, from drinking, violating my probation. When I came here, I was ready because, my life was real jacked up. It was really, really jacked up. And plus I was on probation, and I was really afraid of going back to prison. So I took those classes and I learned those classes. I had to change everything. I had to change everything because my thinking wasn't, it wasn't for my good. When they said to me, the creed and how the goal is for us to obtain and maintain employment. I could always get a job, I just couldn't keep one, and so that was important to me, to be able to keep a job. I got a whole lot of brothers here, hundreds and hundreds of brothers, teachers and mentors here, right in this building, caseworkers of every different kind that have assisted me in this journey. I was blown away. I was just really blown away, especially when Brian Jones came to me. He used to do the job that I do now, and he said to me, you would be great for the job. I'm going to be ready to move on. I'm going to recommend you. I was like, wow. And then my caseworker, Mr. Warfield, wrote a recommendation letter for me, and I read it, and I cried. I said, wow, this is just, because it was like they were saying stuff and conveying stuff to me about the person that I really wanted to be. Not the person that I thought I was, the person that I wanted to be. And I always wanted to be a person who was recommendable. You know what I mean? A person who was vouch forable. You know what I mean? That you could vouch for. And you say, yeah, he'll get it done. You know, he'll do it, and he'll do a good job. I got a relationship with child support through this place right here. I got my driver's license back through this place right here. I got my birth certificate back through this place right here. I got a job right at this place right here. You know what I'm talking about? I have a house. I'm a homeowner. You know, I'm getting ready to get married. I met my fiance here. And this just changed. Christopher Place changed my life. I'm CP for life. I'm Christopher Place for life. I'm not the same person that walked in here. I'm a totally different man.
Thank you, Tim, for sharing part of your journey with us. As you can see, in a movement to serve, it's not so much what you do that matters. It's how and why. And that's the something greater that we invite you to be part of every day. I'm very grateful for all of you who have made yourself part of that something greater with your support. I'm grateful to Scott for chairing this campaign, and to all who have not only been ambassadors for Catholic Charities, but also voices alongside our neighbors in need. We cannot do this work together without you, and our neighbors cannot find the accompaniment they need without someone to walk with them in compassion and service. That's what defines our movement. Thank you for being part of that. I now have the pleasure of introducing Catholic Charities Board Chair and the Archbishop of Baltimore, Archbishop William Lori.
Well, thank you very, very much, and good morning, everybody. And thank you so much for joining this annual breakfast. I'd like to begin by thanking Bill McCarthy. What a blessing he is to Catholic Charities. What a blessing he is to the state of Maryland. The impact, Bill, of your leadership is felt throughout the city of Baltimore and the 9 counties that comprise the Archdiocese, but it is also felt far beyond. I thank you so much for all that you do in leading this wonderful mission and ministry we call Catholic Charities of Baltimore. I'd also like to thank you, Scott, and congratulate you on the wonderful success of this breakfast in a very difficult year. And please do thank your team that made all of this possible. In the same breath, I'd like to recognize and thank my colleagues on the Board of Catholic Charities for your leadership and for all that you do to make Catholic Charities a truly great, living, inspired organization. And the team at Catholic Charities, the directors, the staff, the volunteers, thank you. Thank you for stepping up at a very difficult time, not serving less, but serving more. Not being less committed to justice, but being more committed to justice. Not being less connected, but in fact being more connected. More connected with those whom you serve, and more connected with those of us who are lucky enough to support the mission of Catholic Charities, which is to share the love of God by cherishing the divine within each person. St. Paul, in his letter to the Romans, asks this question: what will separate us from the love of Christ? And he mentions tribulation, persecution, famine, nakedness, and the sword. And to this list, we might add COVID-19. And the answer Catholic Charities gives to St. Paul's question is this: not even COVID will separate us from the love of God that comes to us in Christ Jesus. I wish you a blessed Advent and a truly joyous Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today and for sharing in this movement to serve. Along with the Archbishop, I too wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a healthy and safe 2021, and all the peace and joy that the season brings. Thank you very much.
I started 25 years ago at the Villa as I worked in the kitchen, preparing the kids' food. I stayed about 3 years in the kitchen and I changed over to housekeeping, which is very nice because I get to go in different areas with the kids. I love serving the kids. It's amazing, truly amazing, just to make somebody smile or to help them and let them know that you care. I remember one particular time, there was a little boy in one of the units and he was scared to go to sleep at night. So I said, well, what would make you feel safe? I say, how about I draw you an angel to watch over you and they'll protect you through the night. And I'll put her right up on your wall. So I did that. And after that, it was like smooth sailing for him. Just to know somebody was watching over him, somebody cared, you know. So it's stuff like that that make you come to work, make you dedicated, make you love your job, to make someone happy or to make someone smile or to just be a light at the end of the tunnel for someone. You have to have love to do most things in life. Be it help someone or do something for someone. I think it all begins with the little ticker. You know, it has to be something there to make you want to help the next person or the next child. Or love is a big word. It's bigger than all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the diapers.
Thank you for the casseroles.
Thanks for the bag meals.
Thank you for the face shields and gowns.
Thanks for the toilet paper.
Thank you for your partnership.
Thank you for staying home safe so you can come back and volunteer again soon.
Thank you for sharing our stories.
Gracias por pensar en nosotros.
Thank you for remembering us.
Thanks for asking how you can help.
Thank you for giving.
Thank you for caring.
From all of us to you, thank you for being part of our movement to love.